What's up YouTube, Tech Guy Hodge here, and in this video I'm going to be doing is just going over my predictions and my wish list, you could call it, when it comes to this guy. No, not the iPad 1, but the iPad 3. So, I'm going to quickly go over my predictions, and then from those predictions I'm going to tell you which I think will be in my wish list. So, better display. Now this is a prediction, a wish list, in the wish list, and I think it's a must. Apple, people were expecting it in the iPad 2. People, they were expecting the Retina display in the iPad 2. They didn't get it. iPad 3, Apple needs to bring the Retina display. And there have been reports that someone said that they did see the display and it is double the pixels of the iPad 2. So that is pushing towards what you can call a Retina display on the iPad. Number 2, better camera. Now this is really dependent on you as a person. If you take pictures on your iPad, so if you do, you'd want better cameras. If you don't, I think you would still want a better front-facing camera for things like FaceTime and Skype. I think they really need to bump up the FaceTime camera at the front. Even push it up to, I don't know, 1.3 megapixel, because I think at the moment it's a VGA camera. So 1.3, even a 2 megapixel camera would be a good upgrade from the previous one. At the back, if not the 8 megapixel from the iPhone 4S, definitely the 5 megapixel from the iPhone 4. But hopefully they will bring the 8 megapixel from the iPhone 4S. We'll have to wait and see, but regardless of the back, I really think they need a better front-facing camera. That's just my view, let me know what you think. And going back to cameras, in terms of video, 720p, is it worth it on the iPad? Not just on the iPad 3, is 1080p video worth on any of the iPads? Because they're so big, will you really be holding it to make a movie? But saying that, look, let me quickly take my one out of its cover. It's got my notes on it, but oh well. So, this is my iPad. If I'm holding it, if I'm making a movie and I'm holding it, the camera's on this side. So you're holding it like that and making a movie. Okay, you have a massive viewfinder, and I also think another advantage of the size is that because you're holding it with two hands, you have a steady grip and it's not really moving. It's like you're a tripod for your iPad. Because with your iPhone, you're holding it with. Here's my iPhone. Let me just quickly show you. Because with your iPhone, you're holding it with one hand when making a movie, or even if you are holding it with two, there's not enough, because it's so thin, and I don't know, when I hold it, it ends up wobbling because it's so small. You have to really make sure you're holding it in the right place. But because the iPad's so big, you can hold it with a firm grip and know that you're getting a steady shot and you're getting an amazing, well, basically a 9.7 inch viewfinder. Correct me on the screen if you want. So yeah, let me quickly go back to my notes. Okay, another thing, a widescreen iPad. Would Apple bring a widescreen iPad? And this could link in with rumors about Apple launching two iPads. I don't believe they would. But if they did, they might launch an iPad 3, which would just have this form factor. And they could launch an iPad 3 Pro, which could be a widescreen, or the other way around. But I doubt it. I wouldn't think there would be a widescreen iPad. Let me know what you think in the comments. So yeah, I don't think that can happen. Now quad core, a lot of companies that make tablets are moving towards quad core. And let me just, while I'm trying to put this back, yeah, a lot of companies are moving toward quad core. So there are like there's currently tablets out there which are using quad core, but I don't think we need that much power in a tablet as of yet. They could hold off for the iPad 4 in quad core, and they could play off that because it's the iPad 4 and it's got 4 cores. You get what I mean? That could be the little marketing gimmick that they could start with the iPad 4. So I think the dual core is fine. They could clock it up a bit if they want, but in terms of speed, I mean, my iPad 1 still runs amazingly. I still think it's fast, but quad core maybe, maybe not. They could bring it just because the competition's got it, or they could think that they still need to develop it a bit more to make it faster. But seeing as we've seen the trend in the iPad, they bought the A4 chip. iPad 2, they bought the A5. So everyone's expecting an A6 chip. And it'll be pointless if it's not quad core. So I think they will bring it. So, yeah. Moving on. Better battery life. Now, when I say when I say better battery life, I don't mean extending the hours that I can run. What I mean is, because of the quad core and it taking up and the retina display screen, because those two things will need a lot of power to run at their full potential, what Apple needs to do is maybe not make the battery run longer, but be able to sustain that 10 hour battery life that Apple always boasts about in their iPads. So they could make the battery bigger, not make it last longer, but just keep hold of that 10 hours. A thicker iPad, because of the bigger battery and all that stuff, could there be a slightly thicker iPad? Then the iPad 2. Not the thickest iPad of them all, but thicker than the iPad 2. So you never know, you could see the thickness of the iPad 1 in the iPad 3. So we'll have to see with that. More storage in terms. Now this, I had a question mark against. The reason I have the question mark is because of iCloud. And because of Apple introducing iCloud, they might think because everyone's storing things in the cloud, apps are in the cloud, your documents are in the cloud, just about everything you can think of is backed up in the cloud now. Do average consumers really need that much memory? Us, like, I wouldn't say I'm a pro user. That would just be boasting. I'm not a pro, but I'll say I'm between an intermediate and a pro. Like, I'm not a beginner. I wouldn't say I'm a beginner. Like, I'm an intermediate consumer, someone that is a consumer that knows more than the average consumer. So, I might want more battery life. I don't know. I mean, sorry, not more battery, more storage, because I might want to store, I don't know, home videos on my iPad, which are not obviously on iTunes or in the cloud. So, for those reasons, I might want to do that. But I don't see Apple doing it. Maybe what they could do is knock off the 16 gig and stick with only the 32 and 64 gigs models. So, let me know what you think. Siri, do you talk to your iPad? If you have an iPhone 4S, do you talk to your iPhone 4S that much? If you have an iPhone 4S, I doubt you'll use Siri on the iPad. Okay, it might become a gimmick for a bit, like it might be a bit of fun, but after a while, I don't think you'll be holding your iPad saying, "What's the weather like where I live?" I don't. They could bring it as a selling point again, the way they did with the iPhone 4S. But in terms of use, I think people can live without Siri on the iPad. That's just my thought. Let me know what you think. And for the people that have this in their country, especially the US, a 4G LTE iPad 3. Now, everyone's saying they have to make a 4G iPad, they have to. But Apple, if you know them, they don't follow everyone else. Just because every phone these days in America, not in the UK at the moment, we don't have 4G. But I've heard there's talks of team about bringing 4G this year, which is shocking. But I'll talk about that some other time maybe. I might not even talk about it, but yeah. If you live in America, in the States, you've got 4G, Verizon has 4G LTE. What Apple might do is because 4G is not as broadly available as 3G, they might hold off for a while. They might wait until 4G is in every single place before they bring it to the iPad or even to the iPhone. Because the last thing Apple wants is people saying, oh, I'm not getting 4G here, I'm not getting 4G there. And Apple, I know that's with every device right now in America that has 4G. There's certain places that they get different speeds, in certain places they don't get 4G at all. But Apple likes consistency with their devices. So if there's 4G on an iPad, they want 4G to be available wherever that person takes their iPad or their iPhone. So they might hold off, they might not. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're someone that's asking me about my browser walk-ins, they're right here. A lot of people have been asking me to do a review. I know I've been holding it off for a long time. And I know you will say, oh, you have time to push out these kind of videos, but you can't do the review. A review takes ages for me to do. I'll have to write up what I think about it, the specs, just so I know what I'm saying, my views on it, as not as a script, but just bullet points. So yeah, that will be out, but they're doing fine. They sound amazing. The bass is not too heavy, but it's just enough to enjoy your music, and it doesn't overpower the lyrics like some headphones. Not mentioning any names. But a full review of those will be out soon, so stick around for that. And if you're not already subscribed, do it. You know you want to. Do it. Press that button now. Or you might have pressed it before, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I think. iPad 3. Will I be getting one? Hell yeah. I didn't get the iPad 2 because in terms of specs, personally speaking, all I saw was cameras. I know it was dual core and everything, but all I saw was cameras, and that didn't interest me enough to upgrade. So I held off. Still rocking the iPad 1. Will definitely be upgrading to the iPad 3. See you again, guys, another time in another video.